The late adopter. Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central European Time on the dollar. We do the show every day, Monday to Friday, because we gotta know what's happening in Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything else in this space. And right now, Bitcoin is still going sideways, but it does look a little bit weak. The bounce that we were expecting to come did not come, and it is climbing slowly, towards upside up here, but it's not doing very much. If you go to 1 hourly time frame, you'll see that it's just going sideways up here, wants to a little bit go towards the upside up here, pulls a little back, tries goes up here again, pulls a little back. It's mostly sideways channels. I'm a little bit unsure whether this is directly sideways channel, maybe it's a little bit towards the upside, something like that, but it's basically some kind of channel or something, because I don't see any other pattern up here. Some people might say that, oh man, this is the diamond pattern. I don't see a diamond pattern, but it might be some kind of line up here, and might be some kind of line there, so it might be creating some kind of triangle up here. We're gonna look at that. Overall, the breakout is still not coming just yet. Yes, not yesterday, but you know, today we actually, yesterday, let me see on the daily time frame, we didn't do much. We didn't break any resistance or anything like that. We tried to go up here. As you can see, there was a resistance up here at 21.5. We actually did break this towards upside, so we have a higher high up here. So we have a higher high on the on the daily time frame, technically speaking, and on the 4-hourly we did not. Like on the 4-hourly, we closed this candle just below the line, and then we, you know, started, we kind of opened above it, we gapped above it, and let's continue going towards the downside. Let me look some other charts to see if some other charts are showing that we actually broke up or not. So this over here, we actually did break up here. We did actually break towards the upside. So we made a higher high technically over here as well towards upside, which is a good sign. Cannot say much about that. But overall, there might be some kind of triangle happening up here now in the last part over here, and we are looking to break that towards the upside. So we're gonna talk about that. How's everybody in the chat doing? The Central Man, what's up, man? Captain Kirk, hi, how you doing, man? Nami, how you doing, man? Roshte Nami, morning, how you doing, man? Crypto Russ, what's up? Aspris, good luck. Thanks. Oh yeah, you talking to someone else. I just kept buying Bitcoin and Ethereum every paycheck. That's one way to do it, but you know. Who more is it? John Baker, how you doing, man? Nabab, boss trader. I've shorted BNB. Ooh. Mladen is in the chat. How you doing, Mladen? What's up? I'm still on hoping to go up out of fiat to dollar cost average at the moment. Rusko. How you doing, Rusko? Ways of the Jedi. True team. What's up, man? Up, down, left, right, BA, select, start. What? Lemonade, yo. Rostrat. Doing good. Waiting for Pablo on Friday. Pablo is gonna speak on Friday. What's he gonna say on Friday? What's the Friday news, or what's happening on Friday? Hey man, I think we'll go down before Friday, off the record. Off the record. Not quite sure. We're gonna go to 45 end of year. Yeah. It will be 4K. Maybe. So let's see if there is any kind of triangle up here, happening up here. I mean, we got, you know, some lines up here, some claris up here, and then down here, you know, you gotta cut some corners, but you know, maybe some claris up here, give or take. Over here, let's see on the 4-hourly time frame. I think on the 4-hourly time frame there is a little better line, something like this up here. And you know, it just might be that there is, you know, being created some kind of a maybe down here a little bit, some kind of a triangle over here in the last part of this move. So it's been, you know, going down up here, going up right now. You know, this consolidation phase is getting smaller. I should bet that the volume is going down here as well. See here, the volume is kind of going towards the downside. So we're consolidating up here. The big question is whether we're gonna break towards the upside or towards the downside. We said before we have got a lot of support right below us, but you know, it does look a little bit weak over here. Technically, I mean, it both does and doesn't. You know, it needs to break towards the upside. So you know, I won't call anything until we actually break out of the triangle towards the upside. If we break on the downside, we might still start, you know, looking at some kind of lower levels on the downside. Maybe something like, you know, again, 23,000. I said yesterday that, you know, 20.3, for some reason it keeps coming up around here. 20.3. I don't know where the line is exactly on the dollar right now, but I don't know. I think I've not seen, you know, 20.2, 20.3, something like that down here. You know, this level up here keeps on coming up over and over again. So I'm guessing it might be some conscience, you know, it might be just my mind, you know, messing with me, because I don't see any kind of line down there. But for some reason, this 20.3 level, you know, you know, 20.3, I don't know why, but you know, I keep seeing that number. So you know, maybe that's the trick. So maybe down here we go a little bit lower down here, and then, you know, continue towards the upside. We're gonna see that on the bigger time frames up here. So this triangle up here, so just be sure, so this triangle up here must break towards the downside or upside, the way I see it. And whichever direction this actually breaks to, you know, we might expect a little bit prolonged move into that direction, because it's a 4-hourly triangle. It's not gonna play out for, you know, 2 months or something like that, but you know, it might in the short term play out a little bit. On the daily time frame up here, what you're gonna see, we are still below the moving averages, but we are not bouncing back to the moving average. We're just kind of, you know, consolidating up here, and that kind of worries me a little. That's why I wrote in that looks weak. And you know, we had a big dump towards the downside, but no reaction towards the upside, so that's kind of worrying me. So maybe the triangle that's being created up here is gonna have another leg towards the downside over here, so might be looking weak. So do watch the triangle that's being created up here. It might be, you know, bearish pennant that's being you know, made up here, and it might actually continue on the downside. I still don't believe, you know, a low, very low levels, but you know, we might have a nice move towards the downside, and then we might get some kind of bullishness towards the upside. Bullishness is lacking a little bit right now, I gotta tell you that. You know, every move towards the upside, it goes where it should go, but you know, it kind of doesn't, you know, doesn't perform nicely, doesn't perform nicely. It's kind of have a hard time going towards the upside. So I'm assuming that this, you know, this bearish pennant that's being created up here, that you know, it's gonna break towards the downside. Yesterday I also said it's gonna break towards the downside. They actually broke towards the upside. There was a channel yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday up here. There was a channel. Let me just, you know, randomly draw a channel up here. Doesn't matter what kind of channel it is. It was something like this, I think. Give or take, maybe a little bit differently. And I said, you know, I think that, you know, probability might be, you know, a little bit more towards the downside before we go towards the upside. But this thing actually just exploded, actually broke out of this channel towards the upside over here. But maybe there was also some kind of retest up here, and right now bouncing. You know, technically this should be looked at some kind of bullish momentum up here. Maybe we are creating right now secondary channel up here, something like this up here. I don't know, something like this up here. Yeah, there might be some kind of channel up here. Let me just see that up here. Let's just assume it's a channel. Let's just assume it's a channel up here. There we go. Let's say it goes up to here somewhere. It's actually a double channel up here, something like this. Yeah, give or take. It goes all the way up to that, and they got double channels, and maybe something like this right now. Depends on how you draw it, of course. But we did break out of, you know, the channel up here yesterday towards the upside. Even though I thought that probability might be towards the downside and there is little probability towards the upside, we actually broke this towards the upside. But I'm still gonna be, you know, stay a little bit on this, you know, bearish side for right now, because I don't see that much bullishness in the price. So I would say that you know, this bearish pennant over here will have more probability to break towards the downside than towards the upside. Like just like yesterday, I said, you know, probability, you know, towards the upside less than downside over here, but you know, it did break up towards the upside. But today I'm saying that, you know, the probability toward downside is still higher than actually a probability to break towards the upside. On the other hand, if you do break towards the upside, it's gonna be nice. So we're gonna see that. Maybe I'm wrong, you know, because there are definitely, you know, very important support levels that we are holding right now. This is on the daily time frame. You can see that we are holding this this daily support down here. We went through that, we climbed above it, and right now we are staying above it for like 3 days over here, so which is very good. And you can see these wicks on the downside, which is actually very good. So, you know, I would say that probability is towards downside, but if you break towards the upside, it's gonna be good days, guys. So there's that. DXY did move back a little bit yesterday, I think. Let me check that out. Yeah, so DXY over here kind of broke a little bit. It had this, if you look at it on daily time frame, it had this, you know, green candle train towards the upside, and then finally broke towards the downside. Now if you look at it on the 4-hourly time frame, there are a couple of trend lines up here that I drew. This first move up here was broken towards the downside. You know, this trend over here needs to break this line as well if it wants to continue towards the downside. So we're gonna see that. So the question is whether DXY is at the top or not over here. Also, we are creating a, you know, huge divergence on this weekly time frame up here for the DXY. We already had one divergence up here, and right now we are creating this secondary divergence as well up here, but there is also bullish divergence on the bottom side down here. The question is, once this pulls towards downside, will there be a bullish divergence or not up here, and will we, you know, do the, you know, crown on the top up here and then continue going towards downside? But it does seem to be overextended, and it is, you know, creating these divergences to, you know, correct the price and the trend is technically still towards the upside on the bigger time frames up here, as you see up here. But it does seem to be coming to some kind of ending up here. The question is whether this is gonna, you know, hold or not. The question is whether it's gonna hold or not. Now I don't remember where my line was from the last time, so let me just try to draw the line again. I think it went something like this up here. There we go. I think that was the line that we you know, was starting to break up here, and then, you know, we pulled back. If you look at a 4-hourly time frame, you see that we broke the line towards the upside up here. Depends on how you draw the line, but I think it was pretty legit line. Let me just try to draw it a little bit better again over here. Maybe something down there. Then we use these wicks on downside, something like this. Did we use that? Yeah, we used this line up here, and everybody, and you know, we thought it nice. We broke towards the upside up. It's not nice, but you know, we broke towards the upside. It's gonna go towards downside, but you know, it got rejected. Right now, hitting that line from the bottom side up here, and if it starts breaking this trend over here and this move, might be something like this up here. If it starts breaking this trend towards downside over here, it just might, you know, fall towards downside. Now if this does happen, you know, Bitcoin might actually go towards upside. So when looking at DXY, it says that, you know, Bitcoin is gonna break this 4-hourly or 1-hourly triangle over here towards the upside, the way I see it, because if, you know, DXY moves towards downside, it just might be so that Bitcoin is gonna, you know, break this towards upside and everything is gonna get loose, right? But you know, we did see some altcoins that are, you know, have been pumping hard lately. EOS is right now pumping. Chile is pumped hard. Chile is actually hit major resistance at the top right now. EOS is hitting some kind of top. I think there were also a couple other coins that actually performed very nicely towards upside. But overall, you know, some kind of pullback might actually happen. Some kind of pullback might actually happen for these coins. But will they continue? I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, guys, I think, you know, we need to wait out this triangle to be very sure about what's gonna happen, but kind of think this might actually maybe even a fake out to downside and towards upside. On the other hand, this might actually just, you know, go towards upside if you just look at DXY. The stock market, where is stock market up here? It is having a pullback, big pullback nonetheless. You can see up here, it is having a giant pullback, and this uptrend up here kind of got broken towards downside. So it looks like it's gonna continue a little bit more towards downside. It might have a nice pump up here and then again go towards downside, but you know, overall the trend, this move towards the upside is broken. So any kind of move, when you have any kind of move towards the upside, you break that move and then you know, go a little bit down, right? So you know, a little bit down before you go up again, right? Might find some kind of support here again at 30 and then break towards the upside. We're gonna see that, but you know, it is hitting some kind of top. The same thing goes for S&P 500. Did the same thing up here, hit some kind of resistance, got rejected by that, and right now going on a little bit downside. So how do we analyze this? Will this, you know, will dollar index just continue, you know, pumping towards upside? Will S&P, you know, get rejected and go towards downside? How are they correlated with Bitcoin? You know, analyze, but I don't know. Short term, I think, you know, this triangle up here, give or take, is the most important thing. Any questions, guys? Rostra, can I send you DM on Twitter? Of course you can, man. TI calculator, long time no see. I do, man. Talk about the shorts on the next live. Really hoping market starts crabbing. It is kind of crabbing right now. It had a big dump towards downside. Right now it's kind of crabbing, but you know, some people are flexing after being in minus 50. Look at S&P 500 daily. You find a falling broadening wedge. We just completed a bear market rally that will likely end the capitulation phase like other recession 2008. So broadening wedge on daily. Yeah, I think I saw if you go to the daily time frame, there was a broadening wedge up here. It's a pretty huge one. But it goes something like this. I think these lines down here are a little bit better. There we go. It might be some kind of broadening wedge up here. but the capitulation phase needs to come below 3003, so it must do something like that. It must, you know, have a big move towards downside. That would be capitulation phase over here. But I'm a little bit unsure about this capitulation. Like Corona dump was definitely capitulation. I mean this went like 10% per day towards downside for days on, right? So you know how these capitulation phases do work. How did this actually work down here? There's 2018, that's went 7% up, down here 10%. And you had this big move towards downside. You could say this was, you know, almost 20% move towards downside. December 2018. You know, I'm a little bit unsure how capitulation phases work in the stock market. I mean, in Bitcoin it's easy to see. You see some move down and then you see a big red, you know, weekly candle towards downside. That's capitulation. You know, but how this capitulation, you know, works on the falling wedge dynamic. What I can tell you about falling wedges, if this is bullish wedge, let's say this expanding wedge towards downside, if this is bullish, the price won't come down to this level again and then go up again. The price will usually come somewhere close in the vicinity of this up here. It will either create some kind of higher high up here, maybe some kind of higher high up here it will create, or it will maybe even go a little bit lower down here, but you know, it will create some kind of falling wedge up here, and then we'll start doing this up here. But it, you know, if we are bullish, we won't be hitting the line down here again. If you are bullish, we won't be hitting the line down here again, because at least from my experience, these expanding falling wedges, once they start going towards downside, you're coming towards, you know, because it always hits the bottom down here, right? But if we are bullish, the last time before, you know, you start breaking towards the upside, they do not come to the bottom. They can come very close, but they don't actually hit the bottom, right? Oftentimes they create some kind of, you know, some kind of triangle pattern up here or something like this, and then, you know, break towards the upside or something like that, but they do not come all the way down there. If we start doing this on the downside though, then we might, you know, look for the same kind of you know, reaction that we are looking towards the upside. So this goes towards downside, then goes up, but it doesn't come to, you know, all the way up there. You know, it just goes something like this up here, and then, you know, starts breaking it on downside, right? It creates some kind of other channel towards downside. Then we are looking for this breakout. Now once we break, if we break this expanding wedge towards downside, I would call this, you know, breakout towards downside a capitulation phase, because, you know, it's often very steep and very fast move towards downside. S&P tells you otherwise. It's not a recession. I will send you some charts on Twitter messages. Yeah, Corona dump, it wasn't a recession, but it was kind of you know, capitulation like dump, because when you see like minus 10%, like everybody's selling, you know, it's kind of when you're trading live against Sasha. I was actually wanted to do that yesterday, but I haven't been sleeping. Again, my sleep patterns are not on the dollar, so, you know, there is that. But yeah, it's a nice spending wedge. Messages. I don't have any kind of messages, man. Message request. There is Rocco. The media is hidden. Let's see what kind of charts are we looking at up here. Copy chart. So we are talking about this wedge up here. So expanding wedge down, capitulation phase would be down here. But yeah, this is the same thing. I'm thinking, like, if we fall out of this expanding, only if I would say that that capitulation phase comes when we break the trend. Because as long as we have the trend line, a lot of people are seeing the trend line, there is no capitulation. But once you break the trend line, you get capitulation phase, I would say. December 21st, January 23rd. What was that? 24%, again 24%. Yeah, like, I think we need to break the trend over here towards downside. Nice lines, man, nice lines. Nice lines. What more you got? What more you got? Let's see up here. That's that. And then there is this one. Capitulate. Yeah, exactly. But you see, we broke the line, right? Once you start breaking the line, everybody gets into, you know, this capitulation fear, and then you go towards the upside, which is very, very nice. And this also lasts for 544 days. This is 68, 69, yeah, 69 capitulation phase. You know, went from the upside towards the upside, capitulate, and then go towards the upside. Yeah. So it might be something like that over here as well, that we, you know, go through this towards downside. How long has this actually lasted? 400 days. So 69 less 544 days. This lasts for 400 days. Yeah, it's the same chart, just a little bit different. Yeah, you break the trend over here, because as long as the trend, there is no capitulation. It's only once you start breaking this towards downside, you get this capitulation of, you know, capitulation move towards downside, which might be, you know, stop the price. And this was S&P 500, and this was still S&P 500, the same chart. No capitulation because of wedge not broadening. Yes, yeah. So this is, yeah. So this is a falling wedge, but it's still a little bit different. There is no capitulation. Then we can't say it's, you know, any kind of bear market. Just, you know, consolidation without move towards the upside. It's kind of different. 80-82 recession is only outlier, given that it wasn't a falling broadening wedge, but only a falling wedge. Does no capitulation phase. This over here is, yeah, it's still S&P 500. What am I looking for? Am I looking at the same charts? There we go. Yeah, it's still S&P 500. Yeah, they are different. This is 69, 70. This is 73, 74. So they are different. I thought it was the same thing, just zoomed in. 73, 74, 80, 82. This falling wedge, and this is .com bubble 2000. Yeah, again broke this, but technically it didn't break it because, yeah, it depends on how you draw it, but it went down to the bottom down here. But yeah, you get this big move from the top to the bottom, and then you get, you know, get out. So yeah, maybe that's what we can expect right now. You know, October 7, October 9. Now this is a whole different story up here. You know, it went kind of channel, and then you got this, you know, expanding move towards the downside. You know, very, very fast. Now, capitulation is going to come in different kind of shapes and forms. Are we gonna have the same kind of, you know, move up here right now? You know, where we go like, you know, down here, and then, you know, think to go into upside. I don't know. But what I do know is that people are not in fear just yet. People are not in fear just yet. So, you know, thanks for the charts, man. For sure. The point is, in all other recession is the history that went in falling broadening wedges, we saw capitulation phases. Yeah, it's very hard to push expanding broadening wedges towards downside, but this is not a very steep one, so I'm a little bit unsure. I mean, technically it is very steep, but if you just right now drop at least down here, that's something like, you know, another, you know, 25% move, and we drop outside, it's gonna be like 30 plus moves towards the downside, right? So, you know, are we gonna see a move, you know, below the line or not? It kind of depends. Okay guys, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. I'm still watching this triangle up here, you know, playing out. You know, whether this is gonna play out or not, it kind of depends. Whether we're gonna break to our upside downside, I'm a little bit unsure. I'm a little bit more on the bearish wagon right now than bullish wagon, but you know, there is that. Larny Lou, member for 2 months. Nice. Okay guys, I'll see you later today. A little bit unsure what's happening today. I still haven't slept, you know, that well, but you know, I got my coffee, so I'm trying to wake up. If I do wake up, there will be a trading stream. If I don't wake up during the day, then you know, maybe tomorrow, Larny, yeah. Larny and Captain. Guys, take care. Join KuCoin while you can. prices are low. I think I got, like I said to you guys before, I got like 20% left in cash, and I think I'm gonna allocate that very, very soon. There is one coin I think that, you know, did not fall down that much, but you know, there are definitely still other altcoins that I want to, you know, get in on the action. So you know, I think this is again a buying opportunity. I don't know, it might fall down lower over here, and if it goes back down to, you know, something like 17-19k again, that's gonna be very nice. But you know, I'm thinking what I'm buying for right now is for the next 3 years, right? So you know, if it does, you know, another move down here towards downside, I mean, you know, another 50% towards downside, you know, it would be nice to get down here, but you know, everything looks like it's bottoming out, and we might have a nice move, you know, capitulation phase, secondary capitulation phase up here before we go towards the upside. Doesn't really matter for me, you know, because you know, at the end of the ride, where is the end of the ride? End of the ride is in 2025 or something like that, up here, right? At the end of the ride, this, you know, this move down here, it doesn't matter, right? At the end of the ride. That said, I'm gonna see you later, guys. Bye bye.